Hello, everybody. Today, we're going to be doing some literate programming, which is my way of saying I'm going to write a blog post and some code at the same time. So we're going to start a new project, the Closure Depths project. And let's get started. We're going to start a new closure namespace, how to code a blog, edit configurations, add a new local REPL. Now we're going to actually make this into a blog. So our goal here is to interleave some prose and some code and some visualizations and come up with something that at the end we can publish. So maybe we'll make a times tables. Right, so this is all great, but obviously we don't have a document. So how do we turn this little bit of code into a document? And the answer is Clay, and Clay version 2 specifically. And the neat thing about Clay actually is you don't even need to depend on it. But we do need a def dependency on it. So we'll add a dev dependency on Clay. Unfortunately, I need to restart my REPL to get these new depths. There's this little thing here where you can turn on profiles, and we need to make sure that dev is set actually. Yes, right. So now we have Clay available to us. And the thing we want to call in Clay is this make thing, and we can give it some options. We will do that in a moment. First of all, we'll just it demands some options. It opened up a window in my browser, which we don't need to see right now, because that's not really what we want anyway. What we do want is just to make some stuff. You can see it did make some stuff, but this is not the stuff that we really want. So we're going to add a new file, which is going to contain our configuration for our project. And this is going to be called play.even. And in here, we're going to put the options. We could have just put them in at the command line, but then obviously they'd just be forgotten, and we don't want that. The things that we need to put into the options are source path, and this is the notebook that we want to render. So yeah, maybe that's all we need. Let's try it. Okay, so it said that it wrote a file for us, and it also showed it in the browser, but I don't really want it to do that. So we're going to say show is false. So don't bother showing me. Just write the file. And the reason for that is because I just want to open it in my editor. Okay, so I'm just going to reload all from this here because IntelliJ didn't realize that new files got created. And so, yeah, you can see there's some file in here. There's a HTML file. And this is the file we're interested in. What we want to do is we want to open it in the browser. Right. Actually, we'll just close the HTML file. We don't care about it. This is what we want to see. Yeah. So let's have a look at our table. Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. So let's try changing this example to add 2 and 3. And so now we need to make it again. And it didn't reload automatically. But if I say reload all from disk, now you can see it's actually updated. So I guess I don't have IntelliJ configured smartly enough, or it doesn't know to look for changes in the file system. But the good news is we're not going to have to worry about all of that because we're going to set up a key binding to do this make for us, and also to reload the HTML file. Under preferences, if you just search for REPL commands here, you'll be able to find the REPL commands setup section. And once we've got that, we're going to want to add a new one. So this is my new command, and it's going to be send file to play. Before execution, why not sync all modified files? It's probably a good idea. Save all files, it's a good idea as well. And we want to execute a command, and the command we want is basically we want to run play make. But there's a few little tricks here that you need to be aware of. Like, first of all, because this is a REPL command, it doesn't know about your current namespace or anything like that. So we're going to have to fully qualify this or require play. And the best way here is to actually just require it. If it's already required, it's not going to do anything. So that's fine. And the special words here. Yeah, you want to require play. Obviously, to execute this command, we'll need to have that dev dependency in place, but that's fine. And then we can play make. And I think these need to go in a do block just to keep IntelliJ happy. I'm not sure that that's necessary, but we do it that way. Great. And the other thing is that we actually can make this a little bit more generic by saying the source path is going to be the current file here. So IntelliJ is going to replace this tilde current file with the current file path, and hopefully that'll all just work. Probably we'll just execute the command, or just echo the command to the REPL, and doesn't really matter where it gets executed because it's just going to operate on a file anyway. Oh, this is the syncing bit. So here we're going to reload all the files from this, because why not? It's going to write the HTML file, and we want to know if anything changed. So let's apply that. And great, now we've got our command, send file to play to. Now we'll have to set up a key map. Here's our new REPL command. And we just need to choose a good key combination. We will use Alt-C. File path. Okay, so we regenerated the whole file and our times tables. That's lovely. And this table here is a visualization. If we just want to look at one visualization at a time, or one form at a time for that matter, it's nice to have a key dedicated to that. We don't have to kind of scroll through the whole document trying to understand what's going on. So we'll just add one more key binding to deal with that scenario. And I'm just going to copy this one. And we'll make a new one. I'm going to call it send form to play to. And very similar deal to previously. Probably want a simple modified files, but why not? But instead of just setting the source path, we're also going to set a single form. And this is going to be form before. If that works, let's so send form to play to. This is the one we want to assign to. Why not? Oh. So we forgot to select reload all files from this, but now that I've got that, so now we press Alt-C, it does everything. So it's Alt-G, just does the form before the caret. So that's nice, we can just execute part of the document. Okay, wonderful. We've got our times tables now. We're just going to plot for each of the integers from 1 to 12 what its square is, because why not? It seems like a reasonable thing to do. Well, yeah, so that's kind of silly, but at least it shows that we can make a chart. You need to specify some encodings and data and all that sort of stuff. Now we can look at how our blog post is coming along. We've got a table here. I've got a little chart here. Shows the code, how to make it. Let's also look at publication. So you can see all the output has gone to the docs directory. We could have changed it to be whatever we wanted. If we push this up to GitHub, we can just serve this and have our blog live. We need to start up a terminal here, and fortunately we're in the right spot. And we just need to git init for the Git repository out of this awesome project. So we had our clay Eden, we had our depths Eden. GitHub told me to execute these commands to push it up. And so now I've pushed my repo, but I haven't published it yet. And the thing we need to do to publish it is we actually need to either set up a CI task or push a pages branch. Okay, so this is the GitHub project setup. And you can see here that under GitHub pages, you can choose a branch. So we created a new branch here called GitHub pages. And on this branch, all we actually want is the docs directory. Okay, so now we have this GitHub pages branch. You can see you can serve from the root or the docs. I've been a little bit untidy here by just keeping it with the same project structure. But yeah, you can organize this however you like. You can blow away the So as you can see, that's maybe not the perfect URL, but that's kind of just a file management issue, which we could figure out. The cool thing though is that, this is on the web. People can read my blog about how to code a blog. Until next time, keep on coding.